The Miami Dolphins have one more game to go this season, a 425 road game against the AFC East leading, or maybe they're the winners by now, New England Patriots, which rebuilt in 2 seasons. We are on season number 6 of, I think it's 7, of this Dolphins rebuild. And right now the Dolphins are 7-9 following Sunday's 20-17 win over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in a game Miami pretty much had control of for all but the first 5 minutes. Isaiah Smalls, we saw Quinn Ewers throw 2 touchdown passes. He delivered, what was his passer rating? He delivered 118 passer rating after completing 14 of 22 passes for 172 yards and 2 touchdowns. Isaiah Smalls, is Quinn Ewers your starting quarterback in 2026?
I think it's open to interpretation. I think we have to have a quarterback competition depending on how this last game ends. But I wouldn't rule it out. I mean, it depends what the Dolphins are shooting for, right? If they go into the draft and they get a quarterback, then, I mean, we have a competition on our hands. I don't think any job right now, just because of the state of this organization, I don't think they can't afford for jobs to just be handed out, right? Like, you can't just be like, oh, you're going to be the starter just because you had a good year last year. No. You're going to have to come back every year and come prove yourself. Just because I think that has been – you're right, that hasn't been a feature of the Mike McDaniel era, but it has to start to become it's like clear. It has to become something because you can't just be – when you have handouts, that creates complacency. And complacency, as my motto is, complacency is the devil. Because once you start to get complacent, the things that used to matter don't matter as much anymore. So to me, I wouldn't rule it out, but I'm not going to definitively say I want Quinn Ewers to be my starter right now. That would be asinine.
Is there anything Quinn Ewers could do in these final 3 games for you to say, oh yeah, he's good?
I mean, I think I said that he's good after the last game. He was able to use his legs to pick up first downs. Okay. He has a pretty solid arm. That pass to Greg Dulcich, you pointed out on Twitter, he didn't even step into it. It was just a flick, and it was 20 yards. Tua has 25 yards. Tua can't do that. I don't think Tua's ever been able to do that. That's just natural arm talent right there, right? So, I mean, he's already proven to me that he's good. I think what I want to see
good.
Okay, not good. Okay.
Yeah, define good.
Okay. That he can. When I said good just now, I meant he can play quarterback at the NFL level. Like, he's not shaky. Like, I've seen some very shaky performances in quarterback.
He's not Tyler Snoop Huntley, is what you're saying.
Not Tyler Snoop Huntley, not Dorian Thompson-Robinson, who had the worst quarterback performance I've ever seen. He's not Brady Cook. He's serviceable. I'll say that. Serviceable is a better word. He's serviceable. Now, you go into New England next week and you win that game. I don't think they're going to be playing their starters, though. I mean, they're playing for the number 1 seed, so maybe they will.
If I'm playing for the number 1 seed, everybody, that's a weekend off, big dog.
If you're playing for the number 1 seed?
Yeah, my body, that's a weekend off. I mean, if I'm playing for the number 1 seed and I got to beat the Dolphins to get 14 days before I play the next football game, yeah, I'm playing, big dog. Yeah.
Oh, you're playing. You are playing. Okay. Cool. All right, so then, look, that to me is going to be a bigger test. Like, he outdueled, Baker Mayfield on Sunday, who had 2 picks, 2 very costly picks, including one to, the rookie Jason Marshall Jr., hometown kid, shout out him. But you go into Foxborough, you outduel
Foxborough, 300 yards, 4 touchdowns, beating who's their starter?
Drake May.
Beating Drake May. You impressed?
I'm impressed. I'm impressed. But again, I don't believe in handouts. Like, you're gonna have to come show me next year. And who knows? Maybe Tua is back next year. He's, whatever.
I think he is. In fact,
there's a rookie. Yeah. There's a rookie that comes in, and maybe he's, you're a fan of Dante Moore. I'm not a fan of guys that don't have, 2 years of starting under their belt. I believe he started like 9 games, maybe at UCLA, something like that. I don't, but like,
it wasn't really impressive. But I'm
not for the flash in the pan.
Yeah. I'm not making excuses, but
I'll take Fernando Mendoza's body of work over Dante Moore's. I'm not
Do
saying
you know that
I'm not
all but 6 of Fernando Mendoza's touchdowns have come against scrub teams?
Yes, I didn't know that. Yes, I've seen that. But I'm saying body of work in terms of there's more tape on him to evaluate versus Dante Moore. I'm not. We talked about this before. I'm not the biggest Mendoza fan. I'm not wowed when I watch him play. But
you get up there in the top 5 pick, you taking Mendoza?
I don't know. No.
Is that a no or yes?
No, I'm not. I'm not doing it. No. Because I am a firm believer that next year's quarterback class is going to be one of those ones that people are like, whoa. So I'm
whoa good or whoa bad?
Whoa good.
Next year, give me
next
some
year,
name.
2027.
2027.
You got Julian Sayin out of Ohio State. I liked what Arch Manning did at the end of the year. So maybe look, if he can come back and give me what he did at the end of the year next year, then I'll start to hop on that train. But he's one of those guys. I mean, another year, hopefully Lenore Sellers learns how to play quarterback next year, and maybe he can jump up the.
Come on down to Miami, Lenore. Let's come on down.
We got Sam Levitt from Arizona State, who's in the transfer portal. Drew, I don't know. I think Drew Aller got a little bit hurt. So if he's back at the start of the year and can give me a full year, maybe
you know what the problem is.
Go ahead.
There's
DJ Lagway.
You know what the problem is when you start doing that? We said the same thing last year about
no, we did not.
LSU, Penn State. We did say it.
I think y'all said it. Y'all said it. I didn't say it. Carson Beck. No,
oh yeah.
Who in their right mind
Carson Beck is making $4 million at the University of Miami.
Yeah, but you think he's gonna make that in the league? Come on, I don't do that.
No, I'm not a Carson Beck fan, but when we began the year, Carson Beck was big money, dog. Carson Beck had a better name and bigger brand than the Miami Dolphins starting quarterback Quinn Ewers. Quinn was only offered $2 million. Carson Beck got 4, bro. 4. So don't act like we paying in college now. We paying for performance. So Carson Beck's performance was better than Quinn Ewers. Now, does it pan out for these teams? No, because these, the Penn State dude was supposed to be can't miss. LSU dude supposed to be can't miss. Archie Manning, everybody knew he had the Manning brand. What happened? Mendoza came out of nowhere.
He did. Mendoza did come out of nowhere.
Then there's an Oklahoma quarterback. You can't. You gotta be careful what you sitting here projecting and waiting on. Hell, the Dolphins waited a whole year on Tua Tagovailoa, and he tore up his hip.
But I mean, they still.
And Joe Burrow came out of nowhere.
That's true. So, but okay.
Cam Ward came out of nowhere.
Let's back up. These guys that had quote unquote, I don't believe Cam Ward necessarily came out of nowhere. Like he was recruit. Yeah, you're right. Like I'm not trying to take away from his journey, but like he had years of tape. Like he had gone to Washington State, had built up some tape, and then made the jump to Miami to take it to another level. Joe Burrow for sure came out of nowhere, but also Joe Burrow had like a historically good, one of the best college football seasons ever, right? And so
I thought it was pretty good at Ohio State. I saw him at Ohio State, and
but it wasn't. Yeah, like to me, that is more impressive. I just don't like if you look at all the stats of all the quarterbacks for this year, like they're all kind of like they didn't have better stats than like Shador last year, right? Like they didn't even throw for 40 touchdowns.
I agree.
They didn't hit 4,000 yards.
They probably aren't even as impressive as Shador standards. I'm not even going to front on you. Like,
what are we talking about?
Would I trade for Shador Sanders? I might. I
might.
Like
if you think you can develop him, and if you think if this is your guy, and you think that you really,
I really felt like they should have drafted him over Jordan Phillips in the 5th round. Pick was right there, but that's a whole nother subject. Yeah, we clearly didn't want to give Tua any drama, any competition, and look how that blew up in our face. Let's get back to this Tampa Bay game because
yes.
Let's praise the Dolphins for what happened good. Okay, Devon Achane. he is close to 2,000 all-purpose yards, correct?
Yes.
He's got 1,350 on 238 carries, 8 touchdowns. He is leading the team in receptions right now with 67. That he's turned into 488 yards with 4 touchdowns. Clearly, he's a Pro Bowler. Now, everybody's obsessed with whether or not we pay Vontae Davis or not. Well, that's a debate and discussion for another day. My question to you is, with Jordan Brooks, with Aaron Brewer, with Patrick Paul, would you say that Vontae Davis is head and tails the top performer of the Miami Dolphins this season?
Yes. Like, he was their offense this year. Like, even kind of before, Tyreek went out, like, you could see the writing on the wall a little bit that he was going to be a focal point of their offense. And it's not about him being the focal point of the offense to as much to me as it is to him delivering on that promise, right? Like, he time and time again, like, even games where he got the game where he got knocked out with the rib injury, like, he had like 8 carries, 100-some yards, like, and so it's
that offensive line was grinding out some yards. I have never seen Tampa Bay's defensive line get dominated like that. I thought, man, Andrew Meyer, props to you, because you whooped Vita Vey's behind. Listen, Andrew Meyer, I saw you in training camp and I was impressed with you then. And there was no drop off with you and in replacing Aaron Brewer. So props to you, young man, because that line was killing. That's a Casey Rogers defensive line. That's a Todd Bowles defense. And either Tampa Bay has checked out on their coaching staff or they're really banged up, because Miami was pushing them around. Now, if this Dolphins offensive line could push the Patriots around like that, you might have something to work with right here.
No, that's real. That's real. And just kind of while we're in that area, you kind of got to salute all the rookies, who played yesterday, because they all stepped up. And that's what I wrote my story on. Whether you're talking about Quinn Ewers, who became the first quarterback since Dan Marino to throw 2 touchdown passes in the first half. Something that's insane to me.
No Chad Henne, no Ryan Tannehill, no Tua Tagovailoa. Hold on, a rookie quarterback. Okay. John Beck. You act like there's a lot to pick from. There's not.
It's still impressive, regardless how you slice it. Whether Theo Weiss Jr. had his first touchdown catch, and like, let's be honest, to me, he messed up last week, right? He caused an interception. If I'm Quinn Ewers, I'm looking at him like, hey man, I passed you the ball and you messed up my assist, right? But it touches hands. It touches hands. It touches hands. It touches hands. Touches hands and bounced up. That's on you, big dog. So for him to come back and, the way Ewers described it, made kind of a no-look pass, right? At least looked off the guy. I'm going to have to see it on film to really determine whether it's a no-look pass. But he at least looked off the guy.
He found him. I don't care whether you looked or not. You found the open receiver downfield on a broken coverage. That's kind of 100%. Called quarterbacking.
Exactly. Whether you want to talk about Zeke Biggers, who had the game-deciding, field goal block at the end of the half. Look, like Jason Marshall Jr.
People don't understand. When you say the game deciding, the Dolphins won by 3 points.
Yes.
Tampa Bay was kicking a 55-yard field goal that Zeke Biggers blocked. Zeke Biggers told me he has blocked 7 kicks in college, which I didn't know that looking it up in Georgia Tech career. I think he blocked one in the preseason. I was like, does this guy know how to block kicks? And then I looked it up and I was like, he blocked 7. And then the Dolphins didn't play him in special teams. And I was just like, what are y'all doing? That is, they can take a victory lap for Zeke Biggers' development. I'm giving you a demerit because I'm sorry. It was very easy for me to recognize Zeke Biggers was a good player and could have helped you in the beginning of the season when your defense sucked and couldn't stop the run. And you insisted on not playing him till the end of the season. And Zeke Biggers is not even close for me to debate he's your best defensive tackle rookie.
Yeah, I think I'm on that train now. I haven't really seen a lot of the plays that Jordan Phillips and
Kenneth Grant
aren't gonna that they make. They're not gonna really show up on the stat sheet, but they've been impactful. They just haven't had the impact that Zeke.
I disagree with you. I think they've done their job. I think they've filled their role. Zeke is impactful.
That's fair. That's fair.
Maybe he gives you hot and cold.
Yeah.
And they're probably maybe more consistent. But reality of it, Isaiah, is they are higher draft picks. These people are trying to justify their jobs and their selections. But you should not ignore talent. And
I agree.
If a guy has blocked 7 punt kicks in college, you might want to put him on special teams or make him active instead of Malcolm Butler. Let me just throw that out there for you, especially when you have given up 5.7 yards per carry early in the season. Like, you don't think you want to just try it out, just see what happens? But anyway,
I hear you. I mean, look, they didn't think he was ready. Whether we believe that or not is up for debate. All we know is he's here now. He's making plays, and they
lit a fire on him. They lit a fire on him.
But I think sometimes you need that, right? And we talked about this before. I believe you told me this, right? That usually when you draft multiple guys at the same position, it's the later round guys that usually end up better simply because they have that chip on their shoulder, right? Whether it's because they got selected later, or in Zeke's case, he didn't necessarily get the playing time he expected early on. Like, whatever the case may be, the later round guys are usually the ones that are
they usually have the best careers, which is I that's a Jeff Ireland approach that I fully believe in, and I'm totally convicted. You teach 2 guys at the same time, and their internal drive, their friendship, their internal drive will drive them to compete with one another, and one will ultimately be better than the other. I remember first time we did it was Vontae Davis and Sean Smith. People argue that Vontae Davis had a better career. I would argue that Sean Smith was a better player. I'm sure my comments will be blown up about that, but sorry, they both had multiple years starting, and Sean Smith played earlier than Vontae. And then we had Brian Hartline and Patrick Turner. Then we had Kendall Langford and Philip Merling. The last guy picked, always consistent to me. So props to Zeke Biggers. Hopefully Kenneth Grant and Jordan Phillips, they finish the season strong and Zeke continues to play well, because the Dolphins clobbered Tampa Bay at the line of scrimmage. I mean, they limited. I believe Tampa Bay had 53 rushing yards in the game, which to me, 53 rushing yards, 3.3 yards per carry.
Their second best rushing defense performance all year.
That shows the growth that these rookies have made. Then you brought up the Jason Marshall Jr. interception, Quinn Ewers, Theo Weiss. Only rookie who really didn't get it off. Dante Trader probably had a consistent game. Only rookie didn't get off is the running back, Ollie Gordon.
Yeah.
But Ollie's had his shine early in the season.
Yeah. One guy before we push back, I'm gonna have to definitely disagree with you on Vontae Davis versus. I had to make sure we're talking about the Vontae Davis that I know. R.I.P. First of all. No, he did not have the better career.
No. I think Vontae might have had a better career overall, but when they were with the Dolphins, I feel like Sean was the better player. Miami ultimately traded away Vontae Davis because they didn't feel like he was committed to football. Vontae would show up to practice. God bless the dead. There's an infamous story of Vontae showing up for practice drunk, and him and Brandon Marshall getting into a fight at practice because, like, bro, you can't show up to practice drunk. Like,
showing up to practice drunk is insane. I will say this: he had 9 picks in 3 years as a cornerback for the Dolphins. That's special. Whether you want to however you want, he had 2 4-pick seasons. Like, that's one as a rookie, returned 1 for a touchdown.
Vontae was a player. I think the Dolphins traded him for a first-round pick. So, yeah. Can't remember what they got for Vontae.
They got a hold on. Traded to the
Colts.
It doesn't say the.
Yeah, I can't remember what they got for him, but
second round pick.
Second round pick, and
Jamar Taylor.
We had the infamous Vontae. We're trading you to the Colts. Can I call my grandma? You don't even know what that is. They were on Hard Knocks that season. Jeff Ireland had told them they made the trade on Hard Knocks. Jeff Ireland had bring Vontae in the office and tell him, yeah, Vontae, we're trading you to the Colts, and explaining to him why he's being traded. And Vontae's like, can I call my grandma? Like the whole time he's talking to Vontae's like, I got to understand what's going on. I need to call my grandma. Like grandma was the one, and it's true. Vontae, grandma broke everything down for Vontae. Grandpa was the bedrock of their family, and grandma was the one that made sense of everything. So Vontae ain't understand why he was getting traded. Like this is, trading is personal. Like you getting traded.
It is personal.
Yeah, you getting traded away. You can feel like you were a valuable player, but then they traded you for an asset. There's a lot of things that go into it. Sometimes you need your grandma to explain that stuff to you.
Amen to that. Yeah. Shout out all the grandmas, man.
Yeah. One thing I did want to bring up. I wrote a column, I think it was Sunday, ran in Sunday's Miami Herald about Bradley Chubb's eye-opening, staggering incentives. I believe we discussed this on the last podcast. Mm-hmm. Bradley Chubb went into the Tampa Bay game basically with $4.8 million worth of incentives riding on the line. He's already achieved most of them. He just needed the Dolphins defense to finish as a top 20 unit. They went into that game 21. Now, not only did Bradley Chubb contribute two sacks and a forced fumble, he triggered another $900,000 in incentives, raising his total to $5.7 million of incentives if the Dolphins defense finishes top 20. He doesn't need to achieve anything else but continue to play at his present rate, continue to play 78% of the snaps, which he's on, continue to produce. If he gets to 11 sacks, I believe he gets another $900,000.
He's at 10 right now, correct?
No, he's at 8, I think. He's at 8. Okay. Yeah, so 8.5, I think. So he needs he needs 2.5 sacks to get to, huh? Yeah, he needs 2.5 sacks to get to 11. I think that's a little unrealistic. However, the Dolphins defense, which allowed 17 points to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I kind of be mad at that last touchdown that they allowed in the fourth quarter. I would be real hot. I'd be real hot about that touchdown.
I was pissed too, because I literally one of my takeaways was about how they had Mike Evans in a seatbelt, and they still kind of did, but it made it a lot better when he had 2 catches for 20-something yards and without a touchdown. It is what it is.
Yeah, I mean they did allow McMillan to go off. He came into the game with 5 receptions.
I did not know that.
5 receptions for 48 yards. And did he cook Jack Jones the whole game?
Chris Godwin had a good game too. Yeah, it was.
McMillan finished with 7 receptions for 114 yards. Chris Godwin 7 receptions for 108 yards. Oh man,
Delaware's finest right there, man.
If I'm Bradley Chubb, I'm in that secondary's backside this week, boy. You better get your act together. You got $5.7 million of my money on the line here. Mm-hmm.
Put 10 stacks on it. 10 stacks on it. You get 10
No. Everybody get a GMC car. You will start on defense. You know what? You get a sack. You get a rack. Get a sack, get a rack.
A sack, a rack. I like that. I like that attention.
Listen, if I'm Bradley Chubb, I know he said, if God has it for me, God has it for me. I call bullcrap.
I'm gonna go talk to him this week and be like, what's the incentive that you're giving out for the players? Like, what's it?
He
Because
cannot.
I know
it's illegal. Pow. You don't get
For real?
nobody in trouble.
For real? Oh, my bad. I won't ask him that then. My fault then.
Yeah.
My fault, big boy.
You can't ask about those things.
You can't? Okay, I didn't know that.
You trying to get people in trouble, Isaiah?
What is that? How is that in trouble? I don't understand what the misstep would be.
You don't remember Bounty Gate?
That's different. Bounty Gate is a coach saying if you kill this guy, they had names on it.
The bounty was created by the players, sir. You don't talk about those things.
Yeah, you're right.
Right. Listen.
I thought it was coach led. My fault.
Listen. 27 points. The Atlanta Falcons coincidentally play tonight against the Los Angeles Rams. They host the Rams. Rams are probably competing for that number 1 seed, so they're going to have their foot on the gas. Mm-hmm. Right now, the Rams are the 20th defense when it comes to scoring. The Dolphins are 21. If the Rams score 27 points, the Dolphins will move up to the 20th spot, and all they got to do is play well against the New England Patriots and take it into the final week. I'm pretty sure Bradley Chubb will be watching that game, considering I have $5.7 million on the line. Obviously, me and my teammates. Now, would I create some incentives for my teammates?
Of course.
I just might.
I'm still stuck on this. How Bounty Gate is one thing. Bounty Gate is like players saying if you take out this guy, whatever.
They got paid for sacks, interceptions, things of that nature. Curtain quarterbacks, yes. It's
but is that really that different? I feel like that's very different, than you being like, bruh, if you get a sack today, I'll give you a few bands. I guess
it's the same thing.
Now that I say that, yeah, it's the same thing.
Now, do you see? It's the same thing. These are things you don't talk about. They happen.
Yeah. It's like Fight Club.
Just don't talk about them.
Okay.
And I'm sure there are other players who go into the final game with incentives and playing time triggers.
I'm sure Jaylen Waddle has a big 1,000-yard incentive that I'm sure he's sick about because he didn't even get a catch last week or yesterday.
Hey, he hurt his ribs. So the fact that he came back in the game and played some select snaps.
But you already know that's Jaylen Waddle. Jaylen Waddle gets banged up every single game and comes back in. Let's not act like he doesn't. He does. He does. Like I think we had a debate about this in the media room. I'm like,
hey, do you ever see
Jaylen Waddle? That's what I'm saying. Jaylen Waddle is one of the toughest players on this team because he gonna get banged up. He gonna limp off the field. He will gonna walk right back in.
I think he's on the injury report with like a wrist injury or something.
Look, like he's one of the toughest players on this team. He might not get the credit for it, but he gets banged up every single game. Something happens and he walks right back in. Like that is impressive to me. Like,
listen, yeah, I would be hurt because I need 90 yards to get to 1,000. I know Mike McDaniel. He knows those things. He knows those triggers. He knows 1,000-yard season is a great milestone for a wide receiver. Yep. The problem is coverage is going to be, we not the coverage ain't going Theo Weiss's way. Coverage ain't going Malik Washington's way. Coverage ain't going Cedric Wilson's way. Waddle gonna have to work a little harder for it.
I mean, they need to have some route concepts with Waller as well. Maybe have him and Waller on the same side.
You know what's funny? I don't understand why they just don't run drags for Waddle. Like,
I agree.
That's just not a route that he run. But anyway, they scored on a drag once. They scored on a drag, that 44-yard touchdown. I would be running.
That was Tyreek. That was the Tyreek though. You talking about the?
No. It was Waddle. Waddle from Tua. Ran across middle of the field. No, that was a slant. That was not a drag.
I'm about to say that's a slant.
Yeah,
all of his touchdowns have been slants and posts.
Yeah,
and then he had to go. He had to go.
But I mean, why you just don't run a drag? Why you just don't run drags with Waddle? Like You could put Taj Washington to go run deep and clear out the field. But anyway, let me mind my business because Mike McDaniel's the offensive genius. This week we got some key injuries. Aaron Brewer did not play the game. His playing streak ended. I think that was a wise move for the Miami Dolphins. The neck injury is definitely not something to play with. We've got Jordan Brooks, who came out of the game with a hamstring injury. That's a little bit tricky for me because hamstring and quad injuries usually end up becoming knee and Achilles injuries. If you start compensating for that injury and putting the strain on other muscles and then pop. So we got, I think, who's the linebacker that replaced them? Biggers? EJ Big? No, not EJ Big.
No. Willie Gay.
Britt. Yeah, Britt actually replaced Brooks.
Okay.
And Willie Gay played as well. I think Dotson moved to the weak side and Britt became the inside.
Okay.
And then they also played Willie Gay in dime. I believe that was what they did. Or played
Willie Gay is always their dime.
Yes, they played him in nickel. That's what it was. Okay, they played him in nickel. I know Jordan Brooks is probably going to try to finish the season on the field. Going to try to finish the season as a leading tackler in the NFL. I believe he still holds that spot. Let me just double check. However, I would be very cautious about pushing him to play and putting him out on the field because, yes, he leads the NFL in tackles with 174. Devin White is right behind him on his tail. I know that's a big thing for Jordan Brooks. I would want to lead
68.
I would want to lead the NFL in tackles as well. However, the last thing I want to do is spend the offseason rehabbing an injury, especially when we're not necessarily playing for something other than Bradley Chubb's money. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. We got any other injuries? Waddle?
Yeah, Chop Robinson is in concussion protocol. It will be his second one this year, I believe.
Mike does not play players the week after they suffered a concussion.
Yeah, so his season might be over, unfortunately, which to me presents a unique opportunity for Mr. Derek McClendon.
Don't bring it up. Don't.
I'm bringing it up. I am bringing it up.
No,
how you going to? No.
I quit. I am waving the white flag. I'm done.
We're not waving white flags. We are not waving white flags.
I'm done. I'm waving the white flag.
We holding feet to the fire. We holding feet to the fire. How you going to activate somebody, add them to the active roster, just to make him inactive on game day? That don't make no sense. And then when Chop got hurt, like this is Devon Achane getting hurt early in the year, and you not activating Jalen Wright all over again. Sometimes this organization makes decisions that I just don't understand. Look, they get paid more than me to do whatever, but they make some stupid decisions.
I'm not gonna let you trigger me, Isaiah.
Look, I'm not trying to trigger you. I was triggered when I saw that.
I'm not gonna let you trigger me, Isaiah.
That's fine. That's fine. You don't have to be triggered. I'm triggered. I'm triggered for the both of us right now. Dolphins, do better. Do better. God dang, like that don't make no sense, bro. How you gonna add him to the active roster just to make him inactive on game day? That don't make any sense.
Bro,
it makes zero sense.
I am not going to let you trigger me, Isaiah. I don't have anything to say. I don't want to add anything to the topic. Like I'm just trying to make it through my last week without pissing nobody off. That's my goal this week. Don't piss nobody off.
You almost started this morning, though. You almost started this morning.
What I almost started?
You know what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm. I ain't bringing it up, but you know what I'm talking about. You almost pissed someone off this morning. All right, calls had to be made. All right, so.
All right, that is it for Dolphins in depth. We will be back on Wednesday. Will we be back on Wednesday?
Yeah,
we'll be back on Wednesday to give you an update on the Dolphins' preparation for Sunday's 425 season finale against the New England Patriots. I guess. Do we need to worry about a weather check now that Tua's not starting, or is it the team thing? No, we don't care.
Nah, I saw that boy flick a ball 25 yards with his arm. We're okay with
without stepping into the throw.
Without stepping into the throw,
I was like, oh, I did not know you had that arm. I knew your arm was solid.
We'll check the weather closer. It's closer to kickoff.
I didn't know he could flick the wrist like that though. For real, I was like,
flick of the wrist. Where to skip with a flipper?
Yeah. He do little dances too.
Yeah, I was surprised.
We're referring to Quinn Ewers. Yeah, I think that's his second little dance.
I like the little whatever he did, the first down going. Like I was like, okay, I see you. They said he's the swaggiest on the field. I'm like, look, you gotta show me. You gotta prove it to me. But he definitely got a little bit of
he wore cowboy boots. He a Texas man. His draft
cowboy boots, tucked in shirt.
Yeah, he probably could lead with a little hat like Zach Sealer. Why they don't do a little two step? No two step, no line dancing.
Line dancing is like you gotta have like people information for that.
Dolphins used to do it in 2012. Those 2012, 2013. Those are good days.
Yeah, I'm about to say like that's yesteryear. John is so far in the rearview mirror. I was in high school, so
that's 2000. No, I'm sorry, 2022, 2023.
Oh, 23.
Yeah, 23. That was 23. Yeah.
I was about to. Yeah, but that's a different team. That team was playing for the playoffs.
Yeah.
This team is trying to get by.
Brad's trying to get that check.
As Jack said, we're trying to send him to Cancun with us.
No comment. All right. We will see you on Wednesday.